Hello everyone, it's Chrissie Hodges here. I wanted to share with you something today. This video is going to be a little bit less structured. I mean, not that my videos are really ever structured, but I wanted to share something with you, something I've been working on for a lot of months or involved with, which is some legislation here in Denver, and there was a news story done on it last week and I was part of it and I'm super excited about it, but I also wanted to share some thoughts with you about how I felt afterwards in regards to OCD and just some imposter syndrome stuff that I had, but mostly I just wanted to show you what are some of the things in Colorado that are happening in regards to helping in mental health and stigma and stuff like that. So I'm going to show this. It's seriously, it's just a few minutes, and then I'll chat with you in just a second. Hold on, I got to turn it on. Hold on one second. Okay, there we go. We got it.
And Kathy, it is a $7.5 million effort to build a statewide crisis response system. When mental institutions closed decades ago, we essentially replaced them with jail cells. Colorado, now one of only 6 states that still jails people for no other reason than they're experiencing a mental health crisis. That's about to change.
Great, that's a law.
A law that decriminalizes mental illness, treating instead of jailing people in crisis.
Having mental illness is terrifying in itself, in your own brain.
Chrissie Hodges knows that terror and says being jailed for it only makes it worse.
So it's that added layer of shame that really does exacerbate the symptoms. It really makes you believe that you shouldn't be part of society.
I mean, this notion that people who have committed no crime, but they're going through a real mental health crisis.
That's the governor. I got to meet him.
72 hours, sometimes even more. It's un-American.
Governor Hickenlooper fought to change it with the help of Representative Joe Salazar and Senator John Cook, a former sheriff.
The problem is in rural Colorado, they didn't have facilities like this, or they don't have facilities like this, and so the sheriff was put in a bad spot.
They carried a bill creating a crisis response system with more walk-in centers like this and mobile treatment teams in every part of the state.
It really does send a message to the rest of the state of Colorado that we are going to act in a humane and thoughtful way towards people who are having a mental health crisis.
Recovery is possible for anyone, and it starts with the people that they first encounter. If you show someone you believe that they can get better, then they have a good shot at being able to live in recovery.
Yay!
To give you an idea of the need and
So yes, that was so exciting. It's exciting for Colorado in general. And yes, by the way, that was last week and it was snowing. You never know what you're going to get here in Colorado, but I love it. Yay! So I was super excited about this, but I also wanted to share with you some thoughts that I had afterwards. This was one of the biggest days in advocacy I'd ever had. I got to meet the governor, which I just told you about while you were watching it, and just felt really proud to be part of a movement and using my lived experience to be able to change things, because I was able to testify at every single level until this bill was passed. And I got home that evening knowing it had been a really big and successful day as far as advocacy and using what I had experienced to be able to help others. And I sat in the car and cried. You know, a lot of it was, oh, I can't believe this, and this was exciting, and I'm glad to be part of this, but that old familiar feeling crept up, which is, I don't deserve a good life, I'm not worthy of a good life. Things that really affected me, especially when I was younger, and I had all that shame and guilt of what kind of person am I that you could have these horrible thoughts, or, you know, that my whole life was consumed by this illness. And I thought if you were smarter, you'd be able to outthink this. If you were stronger, you would be able to deal with this. And then finding out I had a mental illness, and then that stigma, and going, well, here I am, I'm going to be mentally ill for the rest of my life. Everybody else has normal lives and they're going to be able to do these great things. And here I am, you know, just kind of, you know, what a client of mine before has used, like a throwaway person. And that feeling started to creep up. Now, I've worked through a lot of those feelings in the last few years as I've gotten into more of an emotional recovery, but it's still familiar to me. It's still that, I like to think a lot of it is OCD in the back of my head going, you don't deserve a good life, and you are a failure, or you are this or you are that. And in the same way I have to deal with the obsessions, I just have to let them be thoughts, and every once in a while they get to me. But I thought that night about what had happened, and a lot about the people that I work with in peer support and just in my own journey, and how, oh my goodness, I mean, y'all know, to be able to live with this illness, we are strong, resilient people. I've said this before, and I'm going to say it again. It's, it's an illness that makes us feel stupid and weak, and, that we should just be able to outthink it, especially because, we know it, we have insight that it's not about our character, but we still can't stop. But the truth is that this disorder would bring anyone to their knees. And it has nothing to do with defining who we are or what we deserve or what we're worth or worthy of. And so I really took away on this day in particular, and since then, yeah, I'm gonna celebrate when good things happen. Before and for so many years, especially right after medical treatment for OCD, I used to just think I don't deserve a good life. I'm never going to find happiness. And I don't know why that is. A lot of it I think is the stigma, but at the same time, I think OCD wants you to believe that. And frankly, that's bullshit. I mean, if anything, we know what real, true suffering is. Mental suffering is agony. And yes, we deserve happiness and we deserve a good life. And we can make it happen. And so I just wanted to tell you that I still feel this way. And if you feel that way, you're not alone. And I hope I'm not alone. But that what we have been through makes us strong, resilient, empathetic people. We see a different side of humanity. We see a different side of the world from a different angle. And in those times where it feels overwhelming, remember that. At the bottom of all of this, there can be a plus side, which is viewing the world from a different lens and being able to relate to people that truly understands what human suffering is, and that we're all in this together, and you don't have to go through this alone. So I just wanted to share that with you. Sorry, I said that was going to be short, and then it really wasn't. I wanted to share that with you. And also I wanted to let you know that later on this week, I'm going to do an interview and like a little discussion, lived experience discussion with Mr. Corey Hirsch. Yay! Former NHL goalie, lives with intrusive thoughts with pure OCD. So he's hilarious. You're going to love him. So I'll be posting that a little bit later, but I wanted to share this with you and also just, have you, right there alongside me as we're doing everything that we can to break down the stigma of mental health. Because you know what? We're not alone, and speaking out is the best form of breaking down stigma and shame. So anyway, have a lovely day, and next time I see you, I'll be with Corey Hirsch. Thank you for being here. And again, I just really appreciate all of the comments, and when I get to touch base with y'all, just to know that I'm not alone as well. So, all right, have a wonderful day, and I hope you're having a good Memorial Day weekend. Bye.